So this is the Liliel Angel Airborne corpse. Riisha. I probably got her name wrong because I'm just starting the anime and I'm slowly going through it. And I saw these figures and I was like, do you know what? I need these in my life. And this is a really nice figure. So we can see, and I will refer to her as Liliel because that's probably the easiest one. So we have Liliel right here. It says SH Figuarts, 2.5 dimension. It's fantastic. I've read a little bit of the manga and I've been playing the game a little bit. But we can see that she comes, I don't know if you can see, multiple different faces, which is a really refreshing thing considering a lot of these figures don't come with that many. Then we can see that she is here with her weapon. And this is what you see on the back. We can see that she has a happy face, a angry face, a yay face, and a ha, take that. And then it comes with her weapon or a cosplay one. Super action, dynamic articulation enables recreation of iconic action sequences from the anime. And it says master fully crafted, sculpted. Sounds like a Marks and Spencer's advert, but we can see it right there. On the top, she's got her smiley face, and at the bottom it's a "you got this" type face. But let's open up this bad girl and have a look inside. Just a quick look. If you want to look at any of the instructions rather than paper, they actually give it to you all in there, so you actually see it in the box, which is a really, really nice thing to do. So to get a better look, again, here are all the faces, here are the different hands, here's her weapon, and there is the actual figure. And here is Liliel. Now, the first thing that I notice is the outfit, which is very, very like a PVC type material. Even though it doesn't kind of feel like it, it does kind of like shine like it, which is quite nice. Then we have her blushing, which is a very nice way to add in the figure itself, and then her costume. Now, I don't know in the anime just yet, or the manga, if this part is actually on her skin, but it looks kind of really cool. It also looks like we've got a butterfly type of effect on top of a costume. It goes down to her bust, and then you can see her stomach. And then the actual skirt itself is kind of like a thick plastic, which again isn't too bad. The joints look absolutely fantastic, and even just moving that slightly just feels like a dream. I actually really kind of thinking that this is a really, really nice figure for what it is. Moving down to her, I'm guessing, tights or the kind of stockings, like they're all looking like it's PVC. You can see that there's little hearts attaching it, like these suspenders adding onto the material, which I think is really, really cool. Now her feet are awesome as well, and I think there's absolutely like there's not much bleeding into the white. Normally you kind of see this sort of thing, but we've got the little joints on the feet, and I think it looks kind of really cool for the way it is. Now, while posing it, I'm going to have to keep her up because it will just fall over. I feel like the feet are kind of really a bit weird when trying to like pose it. Like they're so much better. There you go. It's so much better when like compared to like the Sailor Scouts I had years ago, where they would just fall over because of the way they are. So it's kind of advanced in technology, which is fantastic. Thank you very much, Bandai. You've done fantastic. When going up the legs, it looks absolutely fine. You can see that the indent for where it is, where she can bend. And again, you can see the suspenders along there. Again, I really like the color scheme of white and pink. It's absolutely fantastic. The only thing that does kind of spoil it, I will show you, is this part. I know you have to write somewhere on there where the information for it is, so it says China. I just think you could have really hidden it better, like on the underskirt, like on the bottom, where no one's really going to see it. Now, it's not a major big thing, they have to put it on there, but it does kind of like ruin the figure a little bit. I do really like the kind of cuffs. I think they look really well, like the sleeves, should I say, and the hands look absolutely fantastic. The back of the hair, absolute crisp, absolute banger, love it. Even the kind of like her, like, I don't know what they are, like bobbles or whatnot for her hair, like hairbands, whatever. Let me know what they are down below in the comments. But yeah, like the entire figure itself, when looking around, is generally really, really nice for what it is. So let's now start with the articulation. So I'm always really careful with these sorts of figures at the moment because I don't know if they're going to break. and trying to get replacement parts is really freaking annoying. So just moving the legs, very, very smooth. I generally really like it. You can move them around, but I'm guessing like if you're going to pose it, it's going to look fine. You can turn the feet around if you want. They are quite loose, but I think that kind of works. So you can also move the figure around at the top, and you can see that even like they've put a lot of time into like the muscle definition just under. So that's really, really kind of cool. The arms can go up. The hands can be turned all the way around. Just like so. You can move the arms in if you wanted to. You can move them up like so. Bring them down. The head can move. Even the pigtails, they can move. And it's cool that it looked like just then you could get like extra from it, but you can pose the pigtails around if you wanted to. It does become a tiny bit loose, so just be careful. Could just be mine. But yeah, there is the articulation for it. So let's start looking at changing the faces. Easy enough to change, but it does look like she's screaming everywhere. Just, ah, my boots, the convention, ah. One thing I don't like is that the head is way too loose, but I've not had any issues just yet, which is fantastic. So the joint is a very basic one. Ha! I won the cosplay contest. Yeah, this face isn't too bad for what it is. It's quite a nice one. The kind of smug look, I generally think looks really, really nice, to be fair. It's a nice kind of addition to the face. And then the, yes, I won, thank you all, like, this is amazing type face. I think that might be my favorite one so far. And it kind of just adds a little bit more to it. But I'm gonna leave the default face on because I think that one looks really nice for what it is. So I'm not gonna add all the hands in, but you can see that there is a lot to kind of give it a bit more of like a feel if you wanted to pose it in multiple different poses. I'm gonna have her for the last part with the weapon because I think that looks really cool. But these are all the hands that you get. And I kind of like that you get them in like a little case like this. Here is the weapon. I'm gonna have to put my hand behind it because the first take didn't really kind of work well because the camera can't focus on it. But looking at the detail of the heart, I think this is absolutely really nice. It's on both sides. Now, one thing you can do is you can take it apart, which makes things easier if you're putting the hand around it. So you can pose it in a better way rather than just the default, oh, I've got to try and get it around this part or try to make it a little bit harder. But it does kind of come off easier, normal and easy. But yeah, it's a really nice addition to the figure. So after looking at Liliel, I think she is a not bad figure. The only thing is I would probably say that I would add more in is I would have given her another holding hand because as much as like you can have these sorts of poses, I wouldn't mind like having a battle pose. And I think when kind of like putting together, it just doesn't feel right having certain hands. Like I think even if placing it on it so it wasn't gripping it, that could have been a thing. But yeah, if I'm going to pose these in sort of action poses, you know, whatever I wanted to do, then I generally think that that would be kind of awesome. I think that would be one of the things that I would have wanted the most. Now I know you can pose her in multiple different ways, but I like a little bit of action at times, and I think that would have been really cool to have her holding the weapon so she could hold it up like that, so it could be attacking, or that she could be holding it towards someone's head or whatever I wanted. Little things like that add to it, I think. But yeah, for the figure itself, I generally think it looks all right. I don't really have any major complaints about it. I think that if I was to add more into it, I would probably reinforce the neck because I felt like at times that this could have easily fallen off or it could have like broken. So for what it is, it's a nice figure. It's probably going to live in a box for a long time before I can display them. But I'm kind of more curious on buying all of these figures now, which is kind of cool. I don't know if they're just going to do 2. But if they're going to make more, I probably will buy them. But what are your thoughts on this figure? Do you have this? Have you seen the anime? Have you seen the manga? yeah, let me know down below in the comments and let's discuss. And while you're down there, why not hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I'm trying to reach 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know that we can do it. So let's freaking go. But with that, I'll end the video here. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimona Cat. Your help goes a long way to help support the channel, and if you want to help support the channel, the links to my Patreon and channel memberships are listed below in the description.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。